Hello, this is T West. Welcome to AfriSynergy, news and information on Africa and the African diaspora. Joe Biden's chemical weapons lies about Syrian government.
And there is no doubt that an essential international norm has been violated.
Now we're hearing all of this hyperbole from the president and his men. Really? And who violated that international norm? What does Russia and China have to say about that? Are they a part of the international community?
Violated.
Again, Joe, who violated those norms? Where is the evidence? Come on, show us some of those lying satellite photographs like George Bush showed us. Show us these lies because we know that you're lying.
Chemical weapons have been used.
Yes, Joey, we agree. Chemical weapons have been used. But by who? Who used those chemical weapons? Those are the ones who your American government, have backed and supported. They are the ones who are desperate. Desperados carry out desperate means of trying to get out of the bind that they are in. It is very clear that the Syrian government have been defeating these terrorists for more than 2 years, and now once again they succumb to carrying out chemical attacks, knowing that Obama has said, I have a red line. So therefore these terrorists, they carry out these attacks with the support of the United States, Britain, France, and all of the other Arab allies.
Everyone acknowledges their use.
Well, Joey, you can speak in a bellicose voice that everyone acknowledges their use. Well, who the hell is everyone? I didn't see and hear Russia saying it. I didn't hear China saying it. I have not heard any major African nation say it. Who's saying it? The same damn liars who lied about Iraq, lied about the 9/11 attacks, lied about Libya, and lying right now.
No one doubts.
Another grand lie. No one doubts. Well, more than 60% of the American people doubt what you devils are saying. You are an illegal government. Every American citizen should and must notice that things have gotten much worse domestically since the United States has been carrying out and prosecuting all of these foreign wars on behalf of their Zionist masters. And now they put these politicians up to lying to you more. Now, think about it for a moment. Every cruise missile that's fired is either $500,000 each or all the way up to $1.5 million each for the most sophisticated cruise missiles. And they will be using the most sophisticated cruise missiles when they attack Syria. When they attacked Libya based upon lies, it was more than 120 missiles used at a cost of over $1 billion. Now imagine what that amount of money could do for youth who are going to schools here in the United States. Imagine the great minds that could be produced in America with that kind of money domestically. They are sending up your college tuitions while these bankers become richer and richer. This is wrong, and the American people should be and must be damn angry about it, and they should kick out these damn politicians who lie in the interest of the Zionist entity.
That innocent men, women, and children have been the victims of chemical weapons attacks.
Come on, Joey, tell us. Who is the perpetrator of these chemical weapons attacks in Syria? And tell the people the truth, Joey. Don't tell them lies, but the truth.
In Syria. And there is no doubt who is responsible.
Well, well, who's responsible, Mr. Vice President? Tell us.
For this heinous use of chemical weapons in Syria.
Again, remember, the only ones who have an incentive to carry out chemical attacks are the so-called rebels, better known as the terrorists, backed by the United States, Britain, France, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, and Turkey, as well as the Zionist state of Israel. Well, well, let's go somewhere else and deal with some other liars for a moment. We'll come back to Joey and we will find out who he's talking about when he says they carried out chemical attacks. The rebels, the so-called rebels, the terrorists, or the Syrian government. But check this out.
Peter Beinart, special correspondent for Newsweek and the Daily Beast. He's also editor of the Daily Beast OpenZion.com blog. National Security Analyst Fran Townsend, who currently sits on the CIA and Department of Homeland Security External Advisory Boards. Also Chief National Correspondent John King. Fran, let me start with you. We were told that the administration would likely release a declassified report on Syria, perhaps with even information about this attack. You're hearing now there's a debate in the administration about that.
Well, there's a debate about what to release. Okay. I think you will see there are memories, right, of the failed intelligence prior to going into Iraq about WMD.
No. It was not failed intelligence. It was an outright lie. They knew they were lying, and they intentionally lied during the Bush administration, just like the Obama administration, knowingly lied about Libya, knowingly is lying about chemical weapons attacks by the Syrian government in Syria. Liars, liars, liars. As you further bankrupt the United States of America.
The Syrian regime.
Now Joey has decided to tell us who was behind the chemical attacks in Syria. The Syrian regime lies. Now again, the Syrian government have no incentives for such attacks. But listen to this liar. They make up crap.
And so obviously he decided to go big.
The lying devils are grasping for answers, for lies that will dupe you. Obviously, he decided to go big, referring to Assad of Syria, his use purportedly of chemical weapons. Because he decided to go big. Oh, now it gets better. Check this out.
Because, I mean, the President Obama's red line comment, I mean, that was about a year ago, if memory serves me correct.
Yeah.
And you find this move by Assad interesting because, I mean, all the reports were over the last 6 months or so, the tide of the battle had kind of turned in the favor of the regime.
Now, whoa. That's coming from Anderson Cooper, the one who was duped by Danny Boy, Danny Abdul Dayem, the fabricator, the liar, the one who lied about the killings and the chemical attacks, etc., in Syria. Now, Cooper is asking a profound question. Now, listen to this Zionist liar. Oh, like I said, it's getting better and better. Check it out. Watch him as he struggles for an answer. He knows he's lying. Watch his eyes. Watch his body language. He knows he is lying, but Syria, the government, had no incentive to carry out any terrorist attacks, any gas attacks. There was zero incentives to do so.
Yes. I mean, you would think that somebody who did what apparently the regime did last week would be desperate. And by all accounts, his situation is much less desperate than it was, say, 6 months ago.
So what would be the strategy? I mean, why do it?
I think he thought he'd get away with it.
Yeah. You heard that right. I think he thought he'd get away with it. Now really, really, Obama a year ago says the chemical attacks would be a red line. Now why the hell would Assad do that when his military is kicking the ass of the terrorists backed by the Zionist West? Let's hear that again.
So what would be the strategy? I mean, why do it?
I think he thought he'd get away with it. If you look at the red line, President Obama laid down the red line a year ago. If in fact there's been as many as 35 attacks, what price has Assad paid for that?
Yeah. You're lying. You're lying. You're lying. You're just a lying devil. Your daddy's a liar. Okay, let's close out with Mr. Joe Biden, another Zionist liar.
For we know that the Syrian regime are the only ones who have the weapons.
Another lie. Saudi Arabia has those weapons and they have provided such weaponry. Turkey has such weapons and they have provided such weaponry. And we know that the United States have such weaponry.
Have used chemical weapons multiple times in the past. Have the means of delivering those weapons.
Well, Mr. Vice President, what are you looking at right here? You are looking at the terrorists fighting in your interests, delivering chemical weapon attacks upon the Syrian people. Yes, that's right. You're viewing the so-called rebels, the terrorists in Syria, preparing to fire a chemical weapon.
Have been determined to wipe out exactly the places that were attacked by chemical weapons.
Another lie by Mr. Vice President. You fire upon those areas because you don't want any more of those chemical shells being fired upon other areas of Syria.
And instead of allowing UN inspectors immediate access, the government has repeatedly shelled the sites of the attack and blocked the investigation for 5 days.
That's another lie on the part of Joey. The UN inspectors had almost immediate access to that area, even with a sniper, a terrorist sniper, firing upon them to try to keep them out of that area.
At President Obama's direction, all of us on his national security team have been in close touch with our foreign counterparts. The President believes, and I believe, that those who use chemical weapons against defenseless men, women, and children should and must be held accountable.
Then if that is the case, the United States government itself must be held accountable.
And so I think the administration feels compelled to release some information that, sort of underscores and verifies what you've heard President Biden say today. Absolutely, the regime absolutely used chemical weapons. But the question, the debate becomes, Anderson, how much do you reveal? What is enough to convince the international community that you really do have solid proof of the regime's use of these awful weapons?
Oh, but didn't we hear Joey say that all of the international community agrees that this heinous attack was carried out in Syria and that it was the Syrian government? So who the hell in the international community are you devils trying to convince?